Good evening, YouTubers, and welcome back in to another edition of Astros Recap. Your boy here, David Artis, with another week wrapped up in the regular season for the Astros. It is August 25th, 2019, currently 10:42 p.m. Before I actually get into the week, I did want to bring up a few things regarding last week's podcast. It was a lot of issues trying to get that uploaded to my channel. A lot of just it wouldn't upload. The whole thing just went down on me and wasn't able to get it uploaded until Thursday, and then I couldn't get the background I wanted. So there are a lot of issues. So right now, basically, you have my Earn History rally towel sitting sideways as the background, and if you actually click on the audio, it's then like the default background of like a sunset, water, and like a tree on the right hand side. So just disregard any backgrounds. The whole point of all my podcasts is strictly audio. So I'll try to get that fixed. I hope I don't have issues with today's podcast. I upload these right after I finish them every Sunday night. The first one I posted, which was more than 2 months ago, I actually uploaded that one Thursday. I finally got into it, and then the one that I did last week, of course, wasn't posted till Thursday, so not a lot of views. That wasn't a very fun podcast to do just because they were so bad that week. But I just wanted to point that out, so I'll try to get things fixed. I'll try to get the background fixed, and I'll try to get this one uploaded, whatever it takes. I'm going to try to get these issues fixed one way or another. But anyway, so I just wanted to quickly just talk about that. Get into the week of baseball here. Astros did very well, winning 6 of the 7. So this was a very favorable week for them, at home, playing teams that they really should beat. So I didn't think it'd be a huge issue. Even the podcast that, of course, was uploaded extremely late. I did mention, usually when you play 7 games in a week, which the Astros have done now back-to-back weeks, finally getting off day tomorrow, but I remember usually if you play 7 games, I'll, shoot for 5-2, but I remember even telling myself 6-1 should be doable. It's just because the competition, everything's set up for them perfectly, so winning 6 of 7 after losing 5 of 7 the prior week was a good bounce back. Basically eliminated everything they did and just, equaled things out, I guess I would say. They're 85 and 47, so well on their way to another 100-win season, which is very, very good. And if they play 500 baseball the rest of the way, they'll be right there, of course. Our goals are a little bit higher than that. Still trying to track down the Yankees, which we actually have done. We're tied with them, but that's all we really have to do. We took the season series 4-7, so, and then I believe we're a game behind LA for the best record overall. So the Yankees got swept by Oakland, and then they won 2 or 3 against LA, but we've been able to catch right back up after it seemed like we were out about 4.5 games. So getting back in there was very nice. And day off tomorrow, and then we'll just try to get back to winning. They do stay home, but tougher competition against Tampa Bay. But focus on this past week. So playing Detroit for 4, and then the Angels for 3. And they took 3 of 4 from the Tigers and then swept the Angels here. A lot of these games were a lot tighter, close contests. I just thought, when they went on the road, they got back from a 10-game road trip, ended very badly. But, before they actually hit the road, they were scoring like 10 runs a game at least at home. They were blowing teams out. They had that 8-game winning streak, but coming back home, it just seemed like the offense was a little harder to come by. Pitching did a pretty good job, not spectacular, but we were just kind of squeaking by. The Tigers' first game, 5-4. Second game was like 6-3, so a little bit more of a gap. Third game we lost. Crazy game with Verlander giving up 2 solo home runs, which is what he gives up. And we lost it 2-1 because the offense just didn't bother to show up. That game really bothered me. I mean, the loss is one thing, but there were 2 very key base running mistakes, making third outs at third base. Altuve, and I believe the 8th inning, and then Chirino's trying to stretch a double into a triple in the 9th. Blame Altuve more when it comes to those 2 mistakes. It's just because his was more, I don't know, inexcusable, I guess I'd say. It's like 3-2 count, 1 out, and Altuve's at first, and he's running on the pitch just to sort of stay out of the double play, which is what he accomplished because whoever was up after him hit a ground ball to short. They didn't have the play at second because, of course, Altuve was on the move. So they threw to first, and Altuve, I guess, felt like he'd get to third, so he continued to round second, and then he got thrown out at third. It just was inexcusable. It's that old adage in baseball, don't make the first or third out at third base, and they did that twice. So that game was a little aggravating, especially considering Verlander pitched well enough to win. I mean, with Verlander, you almost expect him to give up, 1 or 2 runs a game, and they're both, exactly how they're going to be scored. Solo home runs. He gave up 2 runs. He went all 9 innings, so the bullpen got a nice break, needed break. This 17 straight games without an off day is what they finally finished off today. But yeah, that game was a little just aggravating because of the miscues, the base running mistakes, and Verlander just didn't deserve to lose. But anyway, they bounced back, won the next 4, so no harm, no foul there, I guess. Winning. I think they won on Thursday 6-3 as well. And then Friday, close game, 5-4, I want to say it was, or 5-3. It was 5-3. They won Saturday 5-2. Today the offense finally broke out, winning 11-2. I mean, it was 2-1 for the majority of the game today. Maldonado hit a 2-run home run in the 8th to make it 4-1, and offense had an outburst in the 8th inning, scoring 7 runs. Yeah, sounds right. And Altuve with the 2-run home run. So offense is looking good. Hopefully they can continue to put up some runs here. They got Tampa Bay coming up, so that'll be a good matchup there. And we sort of owe them because they took 3 or 4 from us to open the season back in Tampa months ago. But anyway, so a few things to point out. Framber Valdez got the start today. He'll get another one in Toronto. I disagreed with the decision from the start, but it did work out. He went 6 innings, only gave up 1 run, so I can't, really roast him. But yeah, I just thought that, Jose Urquidy or Cy Snead, you could even use Colin McHugh, Brad Peacock. You really had 4 options that I thought were better. But I'm not going to sit here he was good. Valdez was good. He worked himself into trouble like he usually does, puts runners on base, walks people, but he got out of basically every single jam he was in. So he did a good job. Greinke's, let's see, what did he do? He pitched. So we're going to go in reverse order. So Wade Miley, who pitched on Saturday, was pretty good. Haven't even looked at my phone yet for this at-bat app. Just sort of going off what I know, but I'm going to pull it up here just to give you a better box score. So for today, Valdez went 6, giving up a run. He walked 5, so he struck out 8. So there was the issues, the walks, which has always been an issue for Valdez. Rondon got in a scoreless inning. Joe Smith gave up a hit, but clean inning other than that. And then Davinsky, who did give up a home run, finished it off. So Devo and McHugh are the two guys I really have issues with in the bullpen. I know Joe Smith has given up a few runs of late. His ERA is still at 1.69. Rondon has been better. I still cringe watching him come into close, tight games like he did today. But the ERA is down to 3.75 for him. He has been better. I'm going to give him a little bit of credit because he has been a little bit better. And, one of the things, so Presley, who got put onto the IL again, he's having surgery or had surgery on the knee. He's out 4 to 6 weeks. So they brought up Cy Sneed, I think, for that. But they had to send Sneed back down to make room for Valdez today. But that's a big loss for the Astros. I mean, Will Harris has been their most consistent guy to the bullpen all year, so you get the majority of the time, I would say, in the 8th inning, and then, of course, Osuna will pitch the 9th. But, they don't have another guy or two that can really bridge the gap if you have a starter that only goes 5 or 6. So one of the guys that's very intriguing that's kind of just fallen off the map because he's been out for so long is Josh James, guy who should be coming back quickly, but really liked what I saw before he got hurt, thinking he should get some more high-leverage situations. But we'll see how A.J. Hinch maneuvers this bullpen and the way he goes about things. Be interesting. I mean, I feel like he kind of wants to use Rondon, kind of like what he did today. I don't agree with it. I do give him credit because he's been better, but I still don't feel comfortable using Valdez in late innings, tie, 1-run game. Either way, it never ends well. I'm not going to sit here and just completely tear him to pieces because, like I said, he has been better. By the way, Valdez, just quick numbers. He's 4-6 on the year with a 5.14 ERA. So not going to get into that, but he'll get another chance, another start. Shouldn't say chance. I guess he's earned another chance. And I didn't even bring up the reason for why he's actually in the rotation, but Aaron Sanchez also was placed on the IL because, I went to the game that he pitched, which was on Tuesday. Velocity was down. Took him out early. He's dealing with some pectoral arm muscle soreness or whatever it is. I don't know. But he's going to get some time off. Said he's been dealing with that even back, last few starts with the Blue Jays. So he's placed on the IL along with Presley. Some moves. Cy Sneed was called up. The other one, not exactly sure. Miles Straw is back up. They also sent Jack Mayfield back down and brought up Abraham Toro, who was their 8th-ranked prospect, and he's getting the majority of the starts at third base. Moved Bregman from third over to short. Of course, Correa's back on the IL. Hopefully it's not a long stint, but it'll be interesting when he gets back to see if he can return to the player he's been all year. When he's starting, he's been very good, but this is the same back issue, so it'll be interesting, very interesting. Hopefully we get him back soon here. Sanchez, I think, will be a little bit longer. We might be waiting until late September to get him back. They're not going to rush him. And Presley's the big one here. So, with Presley, it's 4 to 6 weeks, but if he's not ready, he needs to get some game action before the playoffs actually end up starting. I just feel like, I wouldn't expect him to, just jump right into the 8th inning come playoff time with really no live Major League Baseball action and just expect him to be lights out. He needs to get some, game time in before the playoffs start. I don't know if he's going to be back in time for that. So, Josh James should be coming off the IL soon. He should see some high leverage spots, sort of fill the void there. Another bridge guy to get to Osuna. Will Harris, and when it's Harris, Presley and Osuna 7, 8, 9. That's about as good as it gets for a lot of teams, especially Presley and Osuna when they're right and pitching well. It's pretty good, but I mean the Yankees got the bullpen, not the starters we got. Nobody does. Can match up with our starters, but the Yankees, their philosophy going to the playoffs is for their starters to give them basically 5 innings of quality work, let their bats do what they can, and their bullpen's going to be pretty nasty. If Dellin Betances comes back as right along with Adam Ottavino and Zach Britton, and of course Aroldis Chapman, that's pretty deadly back end of the bullpen. So just kind of going through the injuries there. Only at 15 minutes. I didn't really go into a lot of games. Trying to think, Michael Brantley is in an 18-game hitting streak, so he's doing his thing. Bregman still doing good. Alvarez has cooled off a little bit, I'd say, just home run-wise. He's still getting hits, it seems like, every game. They're just not that long, mammoth home runs he usually hits. So Altuve's still doing his thing. Springer at the top of the lineup there. And, Reddick's just been a disaster. He actually had 2 hits, 3 RBIs today. But, yeah, Reddick's he had fallen off a cliff. Not going to overreact to one game. We'll see what he does going into the next week. Maldonado's hit a few home runs. He's doing pretty good. Chirinos has been better. I will give him credit. He had been in a tailspin. One thing with Chirinos, if you watch games, you get 2 strikes on the guy, all you have to do is throw a fastball up in the zone. He will swing at it every time, and he will miss it every single time. I just see that constantly. He should learn to lay off of it because he can't hit it, so that's a few things with Chirinos that bother me. I mean, I like his catching ability. I think he's good. He's been better at the plate of late. But that high fastball with 2 strikes, he just has not made the adjustment, I will say there. But, yeah, so, anyway, good week. 6-1. Never complain about a week like that. They go in with an off day Monday. They play 3 with Tampa Bay. Then they'll hit the road, and I think they'll play, the Blue Jays for 3. So, 4-2. If they can win the series, I'll be happy with that. Be into September here when I talk to you next, which will be September the 1st. So, yeah, I mean, I'm coming up. Probably make this podcast short. Trying to think if there's anything else. Peacock's back in the bullpen. He's had some outings. He's been just so-so. I already went through the injuries. Toro's had a few hits. He's not a big guy. I mean, he's had a few infield hits. He had a hit today, RBI, first RBI. We'll see. I mean, they're really just looking for a guy. Toro, I don't think is a guy who's staying. He's just a guy that's here now while Correa's out. And Mayfield, who was just dreadful from a hitting standpoint, we had to try to find another option there. So Toro will wait. It's small sample size, so can't really do a whole lot of things on him. By the way, so it actually just hit me. So, Presley going down, I think Biagini was the guy they brought up for him. Sanchez, him going down, I think that was Cy Snead. But Biagini, who got sent to AAA because he pitched a lot of innings. They needed a fresh arm in one of their bullpen games. So, and of course he had to stay down for 10 days. So they called him back up for Ryan Presley, and one of those games against Detroit, it was the Thursday game, they were up 6-0 in the 9th inning. He came in, gave up he gave up 3 runs, and then they had to bring in Osuna to shut the door there. But that's interesting. Biagini, a guy who, the short time he was here after the trade, looked very good out of the bullpen. He gets sent to AAA, where he struggles in his 2 outings I believe he had there, and then that translated right back into Thursday's game. So he's an interesting guy. I want to like him. In fact, he's a guy that I wouldn't be opposed necessarily to using in a 7th or 8th inning of a close game. But he hadn't proven that he can get key outs in big spots quite yet. That was just the one game where he struggled when it pertains to the major league roster. So just thought I'd point that out. That's one of the things. So yeah, Biagini's back up. Cy Snee got sent down for Valdez. We'll see the moves. He'll stay down because Valdez is going to get another start against Toronto this weekend. So we'll see how things go there. Rotations back to the top starting on Tuesday. So much needed off day tomorrow. And it'll be Verlander, Cole, Greinke against Tampa Bay. Good luck. Yeah. And Verlander's going to face Morton on Tuesday. So we'll see. But again, good week. Nothing bad to talk about. I can't really go into anybody. So I'll sort of wrap things up there. Try to get this uploaded if you don't see it tomorrow morning, which whenever you watch this, hopefully it's pretty early in the week. I'll see what I can do. I might have a lot of frustrating moments coming up here trying to get this uploaded, but we'll see what I can do. I'm also going to try to change the background if I can on the last podcast. If not, you'll see the year in history rally towel that I laid out on a coffee table sideways, and sort of the sunset with the water in the tree in the corner. When you click the audio, I'll see if I can fix that and I'm just hoping I don't have issues for today. But anyway, I'll wrap things up there. Talk to you next week. Be a 6-game week, like I said, 4-2. Who we'll be shooting for, and then we'll go from there. But hit that subscribe button, that like button, so you get all the new audio when things come out. Love to hear your comments. Share this with your friends, all that good stuff on YouTube. And yeah, I'll try to, again, bring guests on along the way. We'll see how things go here, but again, do all that good stuff on YouTube. I definitely love to hear your comments. But I'll wrap things up there, and we'll talk to you next week. End of September, the 1st of September. And we'll talk to you then. So we'll see you then.